some prashad, Prabhu. Bueno. Perfect. Let's do 68. Jari Gauranga Nahito Tabike Hoito Komene Dorito. Actually, sorry, no. Vrindavanavasi Gauranga Nahito Kabike Hoito Kemone Dorite De Gauranga Nahito Tabike Hoito Kemone Dorite De Radhara Mahima Prema Rasa Sima Radhara Mahima Prema Rasa Sima Jagate Janato Ke Jagate Janato Ke Madhura Vrinda Vipina Madhuri Pravesha Chaturi Sara Madhura Vrinda Pravesha Chaturi Sara Varaja Juvrati Bhavera Bhakati Shakate Hoite Kara Gai Puna Puna Gaurange Raguna Sarala Hoi Amana Gai Puna Puna Bhava Sagare Mona Doyala E Bhava Sagare Mona Doyala Nadeke Je Kajana Gauranga Bolia Naginu Galia Kemone Dorinu De Gauranga Bolia Narahariya Pasannadiya Kemone Goriya Je Jai Gauranga Nahito Kabe Kahuito Kemone Dorite De Radhara Mahima Prema Rasa Sima Radhara Mahima Prema Rasa Sima Jagate Janadoke Jaya Sachinandan Jaya Gaurari Sachinandan Jaya Gaurari Jaya Sachinandan Jaya Gaurari Sachinandan Jaya Gaurari Jaya Sachinandan Jaya Jaya Nitai Jaya Gaur Jaya Nitai Jaya Gaur Jaya Nitai Jaya Gaur Jaya Nitai Jaya Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Nitai Gaur Hari Bol. If Sri Garanga had not appeared. Oh wait, actually maybe we should just keep going now. Time's always ticking. It's so like sweet though. Krishna Deva? Okay. You want to do it, Simon? You don't have to, I'm just... Only if you want. Hmm?
What's the page?
3, 4, 30.
Krishna Deva Bhavantam Vande Krishna Deva Bhavantam Vande Manmanasa Madhukara Marpaya Nijapara Pankajamakarande Yadyapi samadhishu bhedhirapi pasyati Natava nakhagramareche Idame chame nishamya tavachyuta tarapi kripadbhuta vechim Krishna Deva Bhavantam Vande Bhaktirudanchati yadyapi madhava Natahe mamatila matre Parameshwarata tarapita badhika Durghata ghatana vidhatri Krishna Deva Bhavantam Vande Krishna Deva Bhavantam Vande Ayamavilolatayadya sanatana Galitadbhutarasabharam Nivasatu netamiham Vrindan madhure masaram. Krishna Deva Bhavantam Vande Krishna Deva Bhavantam Vande Mana Manasa Madhukara Madhpaya Nija Pada Pankaja Makarande Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhavataite Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhavataite Gokula Tarune Mandala Mahite Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhavataite Damodara Rate Vardhana Veshe Hari Niskuta Vrinda Vipineshe Rishabhanudhadi Navasashileke Lalita Sakhi Gunaramita Vishakhe Lalita Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhavataite Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhavataite Karunam Kurumai Karuna Bharite Sanata Sanatana Varnita Charite Karunam Kurumai Karuna Bharite Sanaka Sanatana Varnita Charite Shirupa Sanatana Jaya Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhavataite Jaya Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Shri Radhe Jaya Vishwanudandini Radhe Radhe Haste Sakhi Shiromani Radhe Radhe Wanna do Namami? Kundalam Sujatitam Nandanam Namami Nandanandam Suchat Netra Pankajam Shikhi Shikandam Ananta Koti Mohanam Namami Nandanandana
Ranjitam Gati Karenjaganjitam Tukula Pipa Shobhanam Namami Nandanandam Chivangade Asundaram Nakaduti Sudakaram Amulya Ratna Bhushan Namami Nandanandanam Sugandhanga Saurabhamuro Virajikustavam Swaraj Shivatsalanchanam Namami Nandanandanam Vrindavana Sunagaram Vilasanugavasasam Sarenja Garvamochanam Namami Nandananda Brajangana Sunayakam Sada Sukha Pradayakam Jaganmana Pralobhanam Namami Nandanan Shri Nandanandanastakam Pated Yashadayanvita Tared Prabhavindustaram Bhavetaram Namami Nandanandanam Muninja Vindavandite Chiloka Shoka Harini Prasana Vaksha Pankaje Nikunja Bhuvilasini Asana Sangate Kadakari Sasiyama Ashoka Diksha Vallari Vitana Mandapasti Sangaham Saripamam Sasambhama Digantavanaphat Nirantaram Vashikrita Pratiti Nandanandan Kadakari Sasiyamam Kipakata Paditsu Anachampaka Vedita Goravi Mukhaparastaka Saradendu Mandan Vichicha Chicha Sanchara Chakora Savalochane Kadakari Sasi Kipakataksha Bhajan Madon Madati Yovane Pramodamana Mandit Priyanuraga Ranjite Kalavilasa Pandit Ananya Danya Kunjaraja Kama Kevi Kovide Kadakari Sasiyama Kripakataksha Bhajan Ashesha Bhava Virekakam Kanta
Shuddha Mangali Guna. Dakarisha Shiyamam Klipa Kataksha Bhajanam. Samajaraja Hamsa Vamsa Nivanati Golavi Vilola e Mavalari Vidambicha Luchankame Kadakarisha Shiyamam Klipa Kataksha Bhajanam Ananta Koti Vishnu Lokanam Rapajiste Adipulo Jama Viranjavarapurade Apala Shidiri Gasat Pundagulinake Kadakarisha Shiyamam Klipa Kataksha Bhajanam Makeshwari Kriyeshwari Shwadeshwari Shureshwari Triveda Balareshwari Pramadana Saneshwari Rameshwari Kshameshwari Pramodakana Wajeshwari Wajadipe Shri Radhike Namostute Iti Mama Dutam Statam Nisamya Banu Nandini Kalotu Santatam Janam Kripa Kataksha Bhajanam Bhavita Davashanshita Triupa Kama Sanshanam Bhavita Davrajendra Shunu Mandala Praveshanam Kadakarisha Shiyamam Klipa Kataksha Bhajanam Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Shri Radhe. Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Shri Radhe.
Morning tune. Namami Swaram Sachidanandarupam Lasat Kundalam Gokule Prajamanam Yashoda Piyo Lukalatavamanam Param Nistamantya Tatadruta Gopya Rudantamuhunetra Yugma Vijantam Karam Bhoja Yugamena Satankanetram Muhuswasakam Patrirekakakanta Sitagravatamo Bhaktipadam Namamishwaram Sachidanandarupam Lasat Kundalam Gokule Prajaman Itidrik Swalabhirananda Kunde Swaghosam nimajantam akhyapayantam Tadiyashitagnasu bhaktajitatvam Puna prematastam sattavritti vande Namamishwaram sachidanandarupam Rasat kundalam gokule prajamanam Varam deva moksham na moksham vadimba na chanyam vreneham varesharapiha idam teva punata gopalapahalam sadame manasya virastam kimahane namamishwaram sachidanandarupam Lasat kundalam gokule prajamanam Idam te mukham bhojam avyaktanile Vritam kuntale snigdha raktasagopya Muhusyamitam bimba raktadharame Manasya virasam alalakshalabhai Namamishwaram sachidanandarupam Lasat kundalam gokule bhajamanam Namo devadamo dharananta vishnu Prasiddha prabodhukaya labdhimagnam Kipadistrivishyate dinam bhatanu Granashama magyamedhi akshidrishyai Namamishwaram sachidanandarupam Lasat kundalam gokule brajamanam Kuveratmajo bhadhamurtyadvayatvad Toyamochito bhakti bhajakrito cha Tatha prema bhaktim swakame prayacha Namokshe graho mesti damodareha Namamishwara chidanandarupam Satkundalam gokule bhrata Namaste sudhamne spuratipti dhamne Tvatiyattarayata vishwasadhamne Namo radhikaye tadiya priyaye Namo nantalilaya devaya tubhya Namamishwaram sachidanandarupam Lasat kundalam gokule prajamanam Namamishwaram Radha Damodara Radha Damodara Damodara Radha Damodara Jaya Radha Damodara Radha Damodara Radhe Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Jaya Jaya Gurudev 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 Jaya Shila Gurudev Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol
Our party's fallen off. Hermione's coming. Thanks. Well, all glories to the devotees made such a beautiful Anakut festival. So nice. The feast, the Abhishek, the decor. Jay counted at least 70 preparations. I know. Yeah. Oh, Narda, you better hide that. Shamranji's going to get on your case. He's like popping sweets. He's like, please, like, oh. You start? Shamranji, should we start with the prayers? Okay. Agyanatimirandasya Gyananjana Salakaya Chakshurun Militam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaye Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tada Bhaktaya Namo Namaha Yam Pravajantam Anapeta Anapeta Krityam Dvaipayano Virahaka Taduajuhava Udretritanmayatayo Tadavo Banedush Tang Sarva Bhuta Hidayam Munimanatosmi Bhaktya Vihinai Aparada Lakshai Chiptas Chakamari Tarangamadye Kripa Maitwam Sharanam Prapadam Rinde Namaste Charanara Vrindam Tavevasmi Najivami Tambina Iti Vigyaya Radhe Tvam Nayanam Charanantikam Angashamalim Chatabirabito Mandi Kritendi Varam Jadyam Jagurarochitam Vidadatam Patam Parasya Shriya Vrindaranya Nivasanam Hirilasatam Abhiramodaram Radhaskanta Niveshito Jwalabhujam Dhyaim Damodaram Dhyaim Damodaram Kripayati Adi Radha Vadita Sheshabada Kima Paravishishtam Pushti Maya Dayorme Yadi Varati Chakinchit Smera Shoditashir Twijavara Mani Panktya Mukti Shuktya Tadakim Shama Sundara Shakanda Shekhar Smera Samarali Manohara Radhika Rasika Mama Kripanidhi Swapriya Chanakin Karim Kuru Prananata Vishapanu Nandini Shri Mukhabja Rasalola Satapada Radhika Paratale Kritastitim Twam Bhajami Rasikendra Shekhar Samvidaya Dashane Chinam Vibho Partaye Brajamahendra Nandana Astu Mohana Tavati Balaba Janma Janmani Madishvari Priya.
Would you like the desk?
Can you find it? And also associates. Did we miss also Rasikananda? Okay, we're gonna go like a whirlwind today. So here we are in Govardhan. And we were very lucky last night to worship Govardhan and bring him 70 preparations, very beautiful, sweets, savories, sabjis, grains, so many nice things. So today, there's a lot to do. That is, lot to do. We missed some pure devotees' appearance and disappearance day, like Srila Sarvasya Giri Maharaj, and also Rasikananda Prabhu, and who else? Vasudev Ghosh, Murari Gupta, my goodness. So a lot to try to squeeze in. And tonight, the class will also be shortish because there's a big Spanish festival just a few blocks from here. And so we'll be going there at 7:30 sharp. So here we are at the mutt. We are walking out of the mutt with a big kirtan. And now we have reached Kailan Van. And let's roll in the dust here. Kailan Van looks a little bit like Mansarovara in the sense that many of the trees are totally bent over like lying down. And you can sit on them like a bench if you're a pure devotee like Gurudev, who sat on the bench of the trees and gave Harikatha. It doesn't mention it here, but this is also the place where Srimati Radhika took the hand of Vishaka and went in to the lake. And from there, Vishaka, being the daughter, being Jamuna Devi, who is the daughter of the sun god, took Radhika up to the sun planet because Krishna was in Dwarka at that time and Radhika couldn't live without him. So they went up to the sun god, and there was a devotee of the sun god named Satrajit, and he was worshipping the sun god for wealth, and a daughter. So the sun god gave Satrajit the daughter of Radharani, who later became Satyabhama, Krishna's second queen. So let's get started. Kailan Van lies 2 miles southeast of Ujjani. Krishna and Sri Balaram played many kinds of games with the Sakas when they came here for cow herding. Srimati Radhika also played here with her Sakis. This place is called Kailan Van because they used to play, which is Kailan. Nanda Baba resided here for some time with the gopis, gopas, and cows. Vrishabhanu Baba also stayed here with his whole family, and they used to herd the cows. And there was quite a herd of cows. They had 11,000, whereas Nanda Baba had, they had 1,100,000, 1,100,000, while Nanda Baba had 900,000, and other cowherd boys had like 800,000, 700,000, also 900,000. So you can imagine all those groups of cows going out with Krishna every day. So Nanda Baba resided here, yes. And so Jatila and Kutila thought themselves to be the only chaste women in Braj. And they considered Radhika to be not even slightly chaste. They always spoke ill of Radhika and made propaganda against her. So it's not new to have propaganda against you. Krishna was aware of all this. One day, he pretended to be ill, that is, at the point of death. Jashoda called expert doctors and brahmanas skilled in mantras, but no one was able to help. So because Krishna was aware of Jatila and Kutila's ignoble moods, Yogamaya, who is Krishna's desire potency, she made this plan. Yogamaya arrived on the scene. She said, if any chaste lady brings water from the Jamuna in this earthen water pot, which has 100 holes in it, then that water that gets poured on Krishna, which didn't fall from the holes, will make him better. So I means Yogamaya would bathe him, and she would say mantras, and from that he would get better. She said, otherwise it's not possible to save him. Jashoda called Jatila and Kutila and requested them to bring water from the Jamuna in that special pot. They went separately to the Jamuna because just in case they would fail, they didn't want anybody to know. They went separately, but they were unable to retain even one drop of water in it. They left the pot on the Jamuna shore and returned home by another path so as not to meet anybody. So Yogamaya Purnima then advised Yasoda to request Srimati Radhika to bring water in that 100-hole pot. Upon being repeatedly requested, Radhika finally agreed to go to the Jamuna. She successfully brought back water in that pot without spilling even one drop. Purnamasi sprinkled Krishna with that water, and he immediately regained his health, which wasn't too hard since he was only pretending anyway. All the Brajasis were amazed to see this wonderful incident, and Radhika's chastity was praised everywhere. Places of darshan here are Balaram Kund, Gopi Ghat, Radha Govinda, Radha Gopinath, and Radha Madan Mohan temples. All right, so let's offer our obeisances here. Roll in the dust here and take the dust on our head, heart, eyelids, and tongue. And let's run to Ramghat, where Balaram, actually dances with the gopis. So here we are there, and let's offer our obeisances to this place and roll in the dust. In this Kartik, we have a lot of dust on us. Do you know when Krishna left for Mathura, and the gopis were, the chariot rather, when the horses left, the horses kick up dust, and the chariot wheels create dust. So that dust got on the gopis, who just stood there like statues until the whole chariot disappeared. And so their bodies were covered with the dust, and they didn't want to have the dust leave their bodies, so they didn't take a bath. And they didn't go home. So here we are at Ramghat. The place lies on the bank of the Jamuna, 2 miles east of Surgar. Its present name is Obe. Krishna and Balaram had been living in Dwarka for a long time. The Brajbasis' distress caused by their separation from them was so great that Krishna sent Balaram to Braj to console them. At that time, Nanda Gokul, where they resided, was here. Baladev spent 2 months of Chaitra and Vaishakha, I think that's March and April, in Nanda Braj, and tried his utmost to console his parents, the Sakas, and the gopis. In the end, to alleviate the agony of the gopis' separation, Baladev performed ras here, complete with dancing and singing. Gurudev said, there's nothing immoral here, just dancing and singing and Sankirtan. At that time, Varunadev induced divinely fragrant Varuni, a sweet nectar found in trees, to start flowing. Baladev and his beloveds drank this Varuni, and becoming intoxicated, enjoyed ras. To sport in the water and to quench the thirst of the gopis, he called the Jamuna to come closer, but she didn't want to come, so he took his plow and dragged Jamuna close to where he was. And now her natural course has changed. A doubt may arise as to how Baladev could perform ras with Krishna's beloved gopis. This would be wholly improper from the perspective of ras. It also seems improper that Baladev to have dragged the Jamuna with his plow, since she is a manifestation of Vishaka. And therefore she's also the beloved of Krishna. So such doubts arise in the minds of those who lack knowledge of the absolute truth. Ordinary people cannot understand the real nature of transcendental ras. Krishna's and Balaram's ras does not contain even an ounce of material licentiousness in it, or the desire for lusty enjoyment. Baladev performed ras only with his own group of beloved gopis. This is clear from Murari Gupta's Sri Chaitanya Charita. But at other times, it's really confusing. That's why I never like to come here, because I get confused. Sometimes Gurudev says this, and sometimes he says that, sometimes he says that Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur said that this talk, that it's his own gopis, is just for general people. Actually, it was Krishna's gopis, and he only danced with them to pacify them and make them think that Krishna is here, because Baladev is the Supreme Personality of servant to Godhead. That means there's not a drop of bhogya vritti, or the mood of the enjoyer. He's always in the mood of servant. So then, after the rasa dance, when the gopis went to their own kunjas, so Baladev, instead of pacifying the gopi separation, it got worse. That's how it always is when they try. And Baladev also felt separation in their association. So that's why there's a black deity of Balaram here, because he turned black being absorbed in Krishna. And then he called for Krishna, just like Guru calls for Krishna to come to his disciples, because he's Guru. So similarly, Baladev called for Krishna to come, and then Krishna went in every kunj and pacified the various gopis. So that's two different stories we get. I like this one better, because I was there when Gurudev called on Prem Prayojana Prabhu to talk about Baladev Tattva, and also to talk about this Tattva of the Baladev's Rasa dance. And when Prem Prayojana Prabhu was speaking about Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur in his statement, and about Krishna going into the different kunjas, Gurudev said, yes, that is what I wanted. So Jamuna, and Murari Gupta is mentioned here, so we'll be talking about him too in relation to today, or maybe it was yesterday was his appearance day. Jamuna is Vishaka herself. She is the beloved of Krishna and one of the main girlfriends of Srimati Radhika. The Jamuna that flows into the sea is a manifestation of Vishaka. Kalindi, she's one of Krishna's queens in Dwarka, unlike Vishaka directly, who is one of Krishna's beloveds. So in this way, the doubt on this subject can be dispelled. Sri Nityananda Prabhu came here during his tour of Braj. When he took darshan of this place, he became absorbed in transcendental ecstasy. Near the temple of Balaram is an aswatha tree, which is known to be a sakha of Balaram. What? He's a coward friend. of Balaram. It was here that Balaram's Rasa Leela took place. It is near the temple of Balaram is an aswata tree, which is known to be a saka of Balaram. Okay, now let's again offer our obeisances here and pray to Balaram that Sri Guru Tattva will manifest in our hearts, and Baladev in his original form will manifest in our hearts by enabling us to enter into Radha Krishna's pastimes. And now we're going to Biharvan, and we just arrived there. It's about 1.5 miles from Ramghat, so we ran really quickly. Darshan of Bihariji Temple and Bihar Kund is recommended here. Braja Bihari Krishna, together with Radhika and the gopis, perform ras. See, we hear about a couple of rasas, particularly Saradiya ras, the autumn ras, and Vasant ras, the spring ras, but there's millions, innumerable ras leelas. So here was another place that they perform ras, in this charming place near the Jamuna. Although most of the forests of Braj have been cut down, that's too bad. You know, I asked Gurudev, how come? I asked him in Vrindavan, because there's a lot of desert and desert-looking bushes and a lot of dust. So I asked him, why is Vrindavan like that? It looks so desolate. He said, if Vrindavan was nice, lush, fresh gardens, then you'll be absorbed in the gardens. But because it is like it is, you get absorbed in separation here. So although most of the forests of Braj have been cut down, Biharvan remains somewhat protected. Even today, cuckoos sing, and thousands of peacock make their Basanti. Louder? You. But in written language, it's called keka. Sound here. During the rainy season, they dance and drop their feathers. There are many beautiful kunjas, kadamba groves, not that we can see them with our peacock feather eyes. Beautiful kunjas, groves, and many kinds of creepers here. When one visits this place, sweet remembrances of Krishna's pastimes will manifest in one's heart. You know, even if the pure devotee doesn't speak. Are you able to hear this, Tripurari? Are you able to hear? You got your aids? Huh?
A little bit. In the kitchen I can hear better.
Okay. Well, can you get your hearing aids?
Are you getting?
I'm just a lot of cleaning to do in the back.
When are you getting? When are your things going to be fixed?
I just have to go to the...
Hurry up. You always hesitate to go where you need to go. Hurry up, because I want you to hear. Otherwise, you're missing a lot. Okay. So sweet remembrances of Krishna's pastimes will manifest in one's heart. Did they, Vasanti, did they manifest in your heart yet? Good. In this cowshed here, the very beautiful cows, jumping calves, and intoxicated-looking bulls awaken sweet memories of Krishna's cow-grazing pastimes. It's a very beautiful kund and ghat here. I wish you could see the screen, but it's not available today. Where else are we going today? It's hard to read. The letters are about 1/32 of an inch. Chirgat. Hmm? Where is Chirgat? That's an important. Chirgat. Does it say tomorrow? Okay. So now we've jumped, taking shelter of Hanuman. We've taken one jump, and here we are at Chirgat. So from the jump, we're falling on the ground and putting the dust here. So there's more than one Chirgat. Chirgat is the place where Krishna stole the garments of the gopis. So that happens in Vrindavan, as you know, right near our Gopinath Bhavan temple, and also here in Govardhan, this Chirgat exists. This pastime place lies 2 miles west of Akshayavat. The young gopis who worshipped Katyayani Devi regularly for 1 month. Why? They did a lot of austerities for 1 month to get Krishna as their beloved or their husband, depending on how you're looking at it. They observed all the vows to attain Krishna as their husband or beloveds, depending on how you're looking at it. Because that would have messed up everything if Krishna became their husbands. There wouldn't have been any paraki or ras, which is the highest ras. They were not married. And what happened was, on the last day, they called the married gopis to give more power to their Rat, like Radharani came. At the end of their vow, Sri Krishna, along with some pre-unarmed sakas, stole the gopis' clothes and gave them the benediction that their desire would be fulfilled. Because only a husband can see a clothless lady. So in that way, he's showing them that I will be your husband. I will do Rasa Leela with you. The temple of Katyayani Devi is situated here on the bank of the Jamuna. I wish we had the prayer. Do you have it? Do you know where it is? Maybe it's in the index. The temple of Katyayani Devi is situated here on the bank of Jamuna. The present name of this village is Siaro. Wait, can I have it? Because I have the mic. Okay, good. So this is a prayer that these gopis uttered. Katyayani Mahamaye Mahayogin Yadeswari Nanda Gopa Sutam Devi Patim Me Kurute Namaha. O Goddess Katyayani, O great potency of the Lord, O possessor of great mystic power and mighty controller of all, please make the son of Nanda Maharaj my husband or lover. I offer my obeisances to you. So really they were not praying to Katyayani. Even they made the deity of Katyayani from earth and other things. And then they were praying, but they weren't really worshipping Katyayani. They were really worshipping Yogamaya, whose shadow is Katyayani. And then again, they weren't really worshipping Yogamaya. Their thoughts were not on Yogamaya. It was only on Krishna. And that's why Krishna appeared, not Yogamaya or Katyayani, after the month. And what did Krishna do? Stole their clothes.
Maybe is there some sampradaya or something that
I'm not aware of that, sorry. So I think that's it for our visit through the forest of Brajmandal. Right, Vasanti? Kailanvan, Ramghat, Vatsavan, right. Okay, let's go. That's Vatsa means calf, and Ban means forest. Oh, this is a very, very suspense-filled, tension-filled pastime place. And here we are walking, like it's a complete desert, it looks like, doesn't it? Walking towards Vatsavan. Vatsavan lies 4 miles southwest of Nandaghat. Because Brahma stole the cows and cowherd boys here, it is known as Vatsavan or Bachavan. Bacha also means cows, calves. It also means young child. The names of this place derive from the words Vatsa and Bachada, which both mean calf. The present name of the village is Basai Gaon. Places of darshan here is, and it's a big list of places of darshan. Also Balabhacharya's sitting place, Gwal Mandali, Gwal Kund, and so on. Once, while Krishna and the cowherd boys were grazing the calves, on the bank of Jamuna, the calves came to this forest. So you can imagine Krishna's going to be young here, because at like 5 or 6 or 7, he switched to grazing cows. Krishna and the Sakas played all kinds of games in the soft sand of the Jamuna. 4-headed Brahma had been astonished to see Aghasura. Aghasura's soul, like when Krishna killed the big 12-mile-long serpent called Aghasura. Agha means sin. So Krishna is so merciful that when he killed Aghasura, he took away the sin from him and purified him. But anyway, he saw how Aghasura's soul left the body when Krishna killed him, and his soul entered Krishna's lotus feet and became liberated. So desiring to see more of Krishna's sweet pastimes, but he didn't do it the right way. He stole the calves when they entered this forest and hid them in a cave. Stand up, please. Run around out there. Huh? She thinks she's a calf, yes. So what happened was, he wanted to see more of Krishna's pastimes, but he thought he could force it. Like, let's see what he does when I steal the calves and put him in so much anxiety. That's not devotional. So Krishna and the cowherd boys, sure enough, they became full of anxiety upon noticing that the calves were nowhere to be seen. Leaving the Sakas here, Krishna went out alone to search for the calves. Unable to find them, he returned back to the Jamuna, where he had left the Sakas. In Krishna's absence, Brahma also stole the Sakas. That's not quite as bad, but it's almost as bad as Indra. Kidnapping is also a federal felony. Krishna is all-powerful and full of all 6 opulences, and he therefore understood Brahma's actions. Personally assuming forms identical to his calves and cowherd friends, like even their bugle, he took the form of the bugle, their voices, their natures, their bodies, because he didn't want the mothers to worry. So he went home. And then, interestingly enough, the mothers started loving their children as much as they loved Krishna. Before, they loved Krishna more than their kids. But now they love their kids as much as they loved Krishna, because they were Krishna now. So really there were three personalities' desires that induced or compelled Krishna to perform this particular pastime of stealing of the calves and cowherd boys. One is the desire of the other mothers other than Yasoda, billions of other mothers. And they all wanted Krishna to, they all wanted to feed Krishna. They all wanted to, Krishna as their son. And they saw that although Krishna comes to my house to steal butter, that's about it. Or to pinch my baby children, or urinate on my floor, but then he leaves. But most of the time, he's with Yasoda, and she gets to breastfeed him. So we wish we had that opportunity. So to satisfy them, to become their child, their son, he did this pastime. Another reason is that the cows wanted Krishna as their calves. They wanted to be able to feed Krishna their milk directly, not indirectly, by Krishna, pulling on the udders and getting the milk. So for that, he also became the calves. Then the third reason is that the young gopis of Braj wanted Krishna to be their lover. And so in that year, all the Yogamaya and Garga Rishi arranged that the young cowherd girls would be betrothed to a particular cowherd boy. And even if somebody was in the womb, he would be betrothed. So the thing is, in that year, all the cowherd boys were Krishna. So no matter who they were betrothed to, it was Krishna. So this is one argument that our Jiva Goswami uses to prove that Krishna is not immoral, because all their husbands were Krishna. There were many others, but that was one. So this went on for 1 year. I really feel sorry for Jagadananda. I don't suppose you could translate simultaneously, can you, into French? Could you? Voulez-vous? Translation. Écoutez? Translation. That was a positive. So can you sit together? Viens. Otherwise, he's way off in the wild blue yonder somewhere. Okay. So after this year, Baladev, who had observed some extraordinary occurrence, was able to understand that it was an interesting, favorable occurrence, which was that the calves ran down the hill to meet Krishna, and the cows ran after their calves, and the cowherd men were grazing the cows, and the cows all ran down to be with Krishna, and the cowherd men were angry that the cows couldn't be under their control, and they ran down ran down the hill, and they were licking their calves. And so the men were angry, and they followed down the hill. But then when they got down the hill, they just became pacified because their calves were Krishna themselves. So after he saw this, he could understand that Krishna himself had expanded as the cows and cowherd boys and were performing a pastime. At the same time, Brahma was amazed to see that the same calves and cowherd boys that he had put to sleep in a cave were still here playing. He was completely astonished. Then when he realized the supreme godliness of Krishna and saw his astonishing activities, he offered prostrated obeisances at the lotus feet, at Krishna's lotus feet, and began to recite prayers in glorification of him. You'll find those prayers in Canto 10, starting in chapter 14. And during those prayers, he prayed to take birth anywhere in Gokula, in any species. And if he couldn't get that, then he wouldn't mind taking birth just outside of Gokula, so that when the people were coming in and out, the dust from their feet would go on Brahma. Brahma didn't even mind being a stone, because when the sweepers of Braj sweep the floor, then they wipe their feet on the stone. So he wanted that dust. But therefore, because he prayed like that, he's not as exalted as Uddhav. He also wanted to be just a lowly grass or creeper or bush, but only so that the gopis' dust could come on his head when they were running to meet Krishna. It's too hard to do it at the same time. All right, forget it. Can you do it later? Something and then something after? Okay. I know it's hard to do it yeah, that's true. That's a fact too. All right, later is good. All right. So, Vatsavan ki jai ho. It's a very long pastime about Brahma stealing the cows. Very interesting. And Gurudev told some special secrets about it in Badger. And when he told these special secrets, remember Vasanti? That's when he told one of the devotees to make walks books, because he told those secrets on his walk. And then Vasanti and I took over that service. We didn't take over independently, but then Gurudev told us to do it. And then I said to him, well, you already told so-and-so to do it, so why are you asking us to do it? He said, oh, he will take a day in the life of Brahma to do it. Okay, so Brajmandal Parikrama ki jai. Kartik Vrat ki jai. Niyam Seva ki jai. So can I have a my beloved guardians by Srila Bhakti Vigyan Bharati Goswami Maharaj. And he's first talking about, let's see, Shishimad Bhakti Sarvasva Giri Goswami Maharaj. And here's his picture. Not my beloved guardians, it's actually my beloved masters. Once in Burma, Shishimad Bhakti Sarvasva Giri Maharaj showed up at the British governor's house in a horse-drawn cart. The governor was furious with his gatekeeper and guards. Even big, important officers do not have the nerve to enter here riding on a horse. How did this sadhu get in here on a horse-drawn cart? Why did you let him inside? Because Srilagiri Goswami Maharaj spoke English very well, he could understand everything. Because this was the British governor's house. I could understand everything the governor was saying. He was accustomed to lecturing in English as per the instructions of Srila Prabhupada, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. So he told the governor, I request you not to become angry with these people. They only let me in because I showed them the letters from the Governor General. Srilagiri Goswami Maharaj handed him the handwritten letters which were personally addressed to Srila Maharaj, that is Sri Sarvasva Giri Maharaj. The governor was astonished. Who are you? He demanded. From where have you come? And why did the Governor General write you these letters? I too received letters from him, but to this day I have never received a single letter with his personal signature on it. They are always marked with the words, from the Governor General. And you have not one, not two, but 3 letters, penned with his own hand, no less. As he said this, he escorted Srila Maharaj into his chambers with the utmost regard. Srilagiri Goswami Maharaj explained, I have met the Governor General when I submitted a proposal to him in Kolkata. I proposed that the government allocate land for my Gurudev's mission and assist in our preaching. Let's do that. Let's get a letter from Prime Minister Modi to the governor of Florida. He asked me about the mission, and I explained that its goal is to benefit the whole world. Frankly, I cannot have a part in anything that benefits a particular caste or creed, he told me. That's why I told him it's for the whole world. I boldly asked him, if I can prove to you, if I can prove you have assisted a particular caste or religious group in the past, will you agree to also assist us by agreeing to my proposal? You get that, what's happening? What's happening? Huh? Okay, so the governor said, I'm not going to help any group that just wants to help a certain group. And Giri Maharaj said, we want to help the whole world. I said, I'm sorry, I can't accept your proposal. So Giri Maharaj said, well, if I can prove to you that in the past you did something for a particular group, then would you agree to my proposal? So he's telling the governor what happened with the Governor General, how he happened to get these letters. So the Governor General hung his head and remained silent. He was not angered by my statement, but pleased. He said, I appreciate those who speak to me straightforwardly, as you have just done now. After conversing for a long while, we developed a mutual friendship. Therefore, when I sent him messages on his birthday and other occasions, he replied with personal handwritten letters. I have come to you today to request you to similarly assist in my Gurudev's preaching mission. In this way, he convinced many dignitaries to serve Srila Prabhupada's mission. He used to say, when Srila Prabhupada read the letters of the Governor General that the Governor General sent to me, he was very pleased and said, "My joy knows no bounds." Our Prabhupada used to use those same expressions. My joy knows no bounds when I received your letter. When I see our sannyasis and brahmacharis going from place to place and acquainting people with their competence. That was one pastime. Another, according honor to the right object at the right time. Once, when Srila Giri Goswami Maharaj was preaching in Burma, the head of the Bengali committee there told him, "Maharaj, you have come during the time of Durga Puja. Who will listen to you speak about Chaitanya's mission? Or Krishna, if everyone is busy worshipping Goddess Durga?" So Srila Giri Maharaj replied, "Who's telling him this?" The head of the Bengali committee. So Giri Maharaj replied, "There are 3 types of official telegraphs: standard, express, and state. When a state telegraph arrives at any office, the staff regards the messages of any standard or express telegraphs that may have arrived as insignificant by comparison. The priority shifts in favor of the state telegraph, and the staff deploys its entire energy in fulfilling the instructions therein. Similarly, the golden opportunity to hear about Swayam Bhagavan, Sri Krishna, and the teachings and exemplary character of his identical manifestation, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This is Giri Maharaj speaking. The savior of the age of Kali affords infinitely more benefit than the worship of his external potency, Durga Devi. One who does not discard the worship of Durga Devi to take advantage of this opportunity will be deprived of its glorious results. By neglecting to understand the comparative significance of the 2 objects, a person fails to accord them due honor and hereby cheats himself. In this way, he becomes the loser. Very bold preacher. Are you following it in those footsteps? Huh? Are you praying to him to become a bold preacher like him?
Pray today.
And what about tomorrow?
Pray every day.
The next subject is called Serving His Godbrothers Financially. If any brahmachari or sannyasi happened to be in need, he would immediately send him money. For instance, when Guru Maharaj, that is Bhakti Dwight Madhav Goswami Maharaj, was collecting money for the bail of Shishimad Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj, because they were put in jail for nothing. And Shishimad Krishna Das Babaji Maharaj and a number of other devotees who had ended up in jail due to false allegations. Srila Giri Maharaj handed Guru Maharaj 45 of the 50 rupees he had to his name. Srila Keshav Maharaj, then Vinod Brahmachari, was once visited by his god brother Sri Narayan Mukhopadhyaya on the day of Ekadasi in his mutt, which was at the time a rented house in Bosepad Lane in Kolkata. Sri Vinod Bihari Brahmachari was greatly distressed that day by the fact that he did not have a single pice to serve his godbrother during his visit. Miraculously, a sparrow a little birdie, dropped a small packet containing 6.5 annas, which is 40 pice. 100 pice equals a rupee. And this was in the courtyard. And with that, he was able to serve his godbrother because money was more valuable at that time. Yeah, Paramguradev, yeah. So that same day, he also received a money order for 100 rupees from Srila Giri Goswami Maharaj, who had tracked him down and sent it after hearing that he had left Chaitanya Math without taking anything with him. Now that's brotherhood. When Sri Srimad Bhakti Saranga Goswami Maharaj went to preach in the West, I didn't know that, he did not take any money with him, but rather resolved to depend entirely on whatever donations he would manage to solicit during his preaching there. When Srila Giri Goswami Maharaj found out about this, he sent a money order to him as well. After recovering a few minuscule expenses, Srila Giri Goswami Maharaj would always donate the entire proceeds he had received from his preaching to the service of his godbrothers. That is brotherly love. This was the extent of his detachment. He used to say, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur has instructed us, Jadi take bahudana nije habi akinchana Vaishnavero kar upakara Jiva doya anukshana Radha Krishna aradhana Kora sada hai sadachara. This is from Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's Kalyana Kalpataru. If you have great wealth, then remain detached and use it to serve the Vaishnavas. Always be kind to everyone and engage yourself in the constant worship of Sri Sri Radha Krishna while maintaining saintly conduct. That's a good nutshell instruction. So his desire before leaving the world, Sri Giridhari Bala Bhargava, a resident of Kanpur, donated land in Vrindavan to Srila Giri Goswami Maharaj so that he could establish Sri Vinod Vani Gaudiya Math. Shortly after, the same Sri Giridhari Lal Bhargava wanted to donate another plot. Let's ask him. Another plot of land for Guru Maharaj. When Srila Giri Goswami Maharaj was informed of this, he told Guru Maharaj, I would be pleased if you accept that land and stay here in Vrindavan on your own. But if you build a mutt so close to mine, my presence here will serve no purpose. It's like because I'm so insignificant next to you. Guru Maharaj said, if Giridhari Sri Krishna, the lifter of Govardhan Hill, desires to personally give me land through this other Giridhari, Lal Bhargava, then I should abide by his wish. Although I will construct a mutt I shall remain at your lotus feet, for you are my senior godbrother. Srila Giri Goswami Maharaj replied, in the presence of your glory, mine is minuscule. Because of your enormous influence, many people follow you wherever you go. What then will happen to my mission? Appreciating his concern, Guru Maharaj emphatically reconsidered his previous statement and resolved, in that case, I will not accept the land. My first priority is to serve the Vaishnavas. I will never position myself to be the cause of their disturbance. What brotherly love! I will establish a mutt elsewhere in Vrindavan, at some distance from yours. Please don't worry. Many years later, Srila Giri Goswami Maharaj expressed his desire to hand over that mutt, Vinod Vani Gaudiya mutt, to Guru Maharaj, who told him, we have already established a branch of Sri Chaitanya Gaudiya mutt here. It would be unwise of me to accept a second establishment in the same locale. Please see if another godbrother of ours will accept it. So then Giri Maharaj took Guru Maharaj's hand in his own hand and said, it is only after you accept this mutt that I will be able to leave my body peacefully. Saying this, Srila Maharaj wept. Being profoundly impacted by the intensity of his emotion, Guru Maharaj agreed to accept Vinod Vani Gaudiya mutt. When Srila Giri Goswami Maharaj later fell from a roof, even if you're a pure devotee, it just shows anything can happen by Krishna's will. Guru Maharaj engaged Sri Nitai Prabhu, his own disciple, in Srila Maharaj's service. Guru Maharaj was greatly pleased by the way Nitai served Giri Goswami Maharaj. We'll do one more. This is called Affirming Srila Prabhupada's Blessings. Guru Maharaj organized a grand 3-day festival to celebrate the deity installation ceremony of Sri Chaitanya Gaudiya mutt in Sridham Vrindavan. Srila Giri Maharaj was among the prominent disciples of Srila Prabhupada present for the occasion. In his address he said, Srila Prabhupada had sent me and Sripad Paramananda Prabhu to procure this very place for the Gaudiya mutt, but we were unable to do so. Today, I'm absolutely certain that Srila Prabhupada, being exceedingly pleased that Srila Madhav Maharaj has constructed a mutt here, is showering his mercy upon him. Sripad Madhav Maharaj's success in securing this location is proof that he is a special recipient of Srila Prabhupada's unrestrained mercy. So I got a little confused who's saying what and who did what. So Gurudev organized a grand festival to establish this new mutt in Vrindavan. And Giri Maharaj was among the prominent disciples, so he had to give a speech. So this was his speech. I wanted to get this land too, but I couldn't do it. But then Madhav Maharaj, that is, Srila Bhakti Dwight Madhav Goswami Maharaj, he got it. So I know that he's a special recipient of Prabhupada's mercy. Well, here's a good one. The importance of following rules. There's so many good ones here. Once, when Srila Giri Goswami Maharaj arrived at our Chaitanya Gaudiya mutt branch in Krishna Nagar, he realized he had not received the required letter of permission from Guru Maharaj to stay there for a few days, and that he had altogether forgotten to inform him about his intention to do so. What should I do now, he asked me. Maharaj, I said, a distinguished person like such formalities. So Srila Maharaj replied, that may be true, but it's always good to follow the rules. Although no harm may come to an influential person who takes advantage of his status and neglects to follow procedure, those who are unaware of his qualification and intentions may imitate him and thereby invite inauspiciousness. For themselves. By diligently abiding by the rules ourselves, we cause good fortune for everyone. In other words, being an example. So here, this is the last one, because there are about 5 other personalities. Huh? All right. Oh, okay. Once Guru Maharaj, that is Srila Bhakti Dwait Madhav Maharaj, invited many of his godbrothers to a grand festival at Kolkata branch. We were there, Vasanti, remember? Of the Chaitanya Gaudiya Math, which at the time was situated in a rented building in Rasabihari Avenue. There were 3 designated places where prasad was served to the devotees attending the event. But Guru Maharaj's godbrothers were served prasad in Guru Maharaj's quarters. So everyone else was served here and there. Srila Giri Maharaj was the most senior godbrother there, and so we seated him at the head of the line and served him the various prasadam preparations first. Once, Guru Maharaj's godbrothers had finished honoring prasad, and they called out, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, and got up. One by one, they trickled out of the door, until finally, only Srila Giri Goswami Maharaj remained. But as I was about to collect and discard leaf plates and take them to the dustbin, I saw Srila Giri Goswami Maharaj begin to honor the remnants from each and every one of his godbrothers. I immediately notified Guru Maharaj, who was standing just outside the room. Guru Maharaj then entered the room and, following Srila Giri Goswami Maharaj, also began to honor the remnants of his godbrothers. My amazement surpassed all limits, I thought. Although Giri Goswami Maharaj is the most senior of all Prabhupada's disciples present, his humility was fully stated. When I found an opportune moment, I sought understanding from Srila Giri Goswami Maharaj regarding his astonishing act. I told him, as a measure of guard against blind faith, it is my practice to follow something only after I have grasped its actual significance. Because of this, the following question came to mind when I saw you honoring the Vaishnava's remnants. Should one consider a Vaishnava's level of advancement before accepting his remnants? So Giri Maharaj replied, I cannot say, but what I can say with certainty is that by honoring the remnants of the Vaishnavas, one will acquire their moods. Srila Raghunath Das Goswami, that is his relative, Das Goswami's relative, Kalidas, always faithfully honored the Vaishnava's remnants without considering their qualification. And as a result, he became qualified to obtain the foot bathing water of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It is so described. We need to learn this verse, it's very important. It is also described in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Bhakta pada duli ara, bhakta pada jala, bhakta bhukti avashesha, teen mahabala. The foot dust of the devotees, the water that washes their feet, and the remnants of their food are three greatly empowered, powerful items. The foot dust, the foot bathing water, and the remnants from the mouth. Furthermore, in the Bhagavatam, Narada Rishi personally attributes his conviction in spiritual life to accepting the remnants of the rishis. The rishis means the four Kumaras, who were only 5 years old, but they were instructing Narada. In this account also, there is no mention of any differentiation of status. Why then should I try to assign any other certification to those whom Sri Gurudev has accepted and certified as Vaishnavas? In my view, they're all worthy of my service because they have more conviction than me and they serve more than I do. Thus, it's a matter of good fortune to receive an opportunity to merrily honor the remnants of my master's dear kin. For it is written, Guru Rakin Karahoy Manya Se Amar. The servant of his Guru is always respectable for me. Jai Shri Srimad Bhakti Sarvasva Giri Goswami Maharaj. What? Oh, he has a question. What's your question? Qu'est-ce que c'est? Your question.
What does it mean to the return to the abode of God, the eternal Vrindavan, according to
I didn't hear.
Said, what does it mean to return to the kingdom of God, the eternal abode of Vrindavan, according to Krishna?
All right, so regarding returning, Srila Gurudev and our scriptures explain that we were never there. So on one hand, you can say there's no question of returning because we were never there. Come from? Say it. You can translate. Go ahead. On one hand, there's no question of returning, since we were never there in the eternal abode of the Lord. But on the other hand, because that is our natural home, you can say returning. For example, my god sister was the headmaster of a Gurukula school in Vrindavan. And she's from America. So it's natural that her son is American. So one day, it was the holidays, and he was going to America. But he was never in America, even though he's American. So he said, I'm going home to America. So our real home is Goloka Vrindavan, where we were created to go there and play with Krishna like our best friend. Okay? But somehow, when we were created by him, we looked away. So Maya took us and threw us all over the material world. So our goal is to go there, where we belong. All right, can I have the Chaitanya and his associates? Srila Bhakti Sarvasva Giri Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. So now we're going to hear about Sri Vasudev Ghosh or Rasikananda. Sri Vasudev Ghosh. I have one on my shelf. Is she here? So Moki, can you get an associate's book, Chaitanya and his associates, from my room? We have a lot to think about and a lot to remember. A lot to...
You can read this like little paragraph about Yam Vidya.
Oh, you have it?
I mean, it's like 2 lines.
Something is better than nothing.
Who says Yam?
Don't have a loud voice when I'm not.
I do.
So Vasanti just gave me information about another holiday of today called Yam Dvitiya. Yam means Yamaraj, the god of death. And, you know, Jamuna Devi is such an exalted girl, but they're brother and sister. And Jamuna was upset that so many conditioned souls were being punished by her brother and sent to hell. So desiring to help those souls, she told him, I want people to have an opportunity to become free from your punishments. So Yamaraj, her brother, replied, I'm therefore giving a boon that anyone who takes bath in your waters in the Jamuna River on the auspicious day of Vatri Dvitiya, that's today, will be delivered from sinful reactions. Well, let's go to the Jamuna. I didn't know he had a lecture about them. Oh, a lecture in the phone. It's kind of short in the book. In the associate's book. So this is a lecture by Srila Bhakti Vigyan Padati Goswami Maharaj. This is his disappearance day, and we know that the appearance and disappearance day are regarded the same because both of them give them an opportunity to us to remember them and get auspiciousness. Today is a special day. It is the Tirobhav Titi of Vasudev Ghosh Thakur and my Shiksha Guru, Shri Srimad Bhakti Sarvasva Giri Goswami Maharaj. Abhirbhav and Tirobhav Titis of Vaishnavas are equally worshipable because both award us their remembrance. Remembrance of Vaishnavas is our wealth. And their forgetfulness is our misery. Indirectly, Srila Narottam Das Thakur imparted this lesson to us through his words. Prabhu Lokanatha Pada Nahi To Smaran. I am unable to remember my Guru's lotus feet. If we do not possess remembrance of Vaishnavas, then this is our misfortune. He further said, Asheshamayati mana magano hoilo Vaishnave tilesha matra ratina janmilo. When our mind runs towards Maya, then we will not develop love towards the Vaishnavas. I have not developed even the slightest loving attachment for Vaishnavas. In such a state, everything is useless. When remembrance of Vaishnavas did not come to us, then we should know that our days of misfortune have begun. As long as we are remembering them, we are fortunate. From external vision, Govinda Madhav, Govinda Ghosh, Madhav Ghosh, and Vasudev Ghosh were three brothers who appeared in Agra Dweep in Navadweep. Among the three, Govinda was, that was required when you leave this world. When Govinda Ghosh left this world, Lord Gopinath took kusha grass in his hand, performed the Shraddha ceremony of Govinda Ghosh. All the three brothers were Mahaprabhu's kirtaniyas. Just now we listened to a kirtan composed by Vasudev Ghosh. His residence is in Tamluk. He went to Tamluk, established his residence, and stayed there. His residence and Kirat Chor Gopinath and Ramuna are operated and served by those in the disciplic succession of Srila Rasikananda Goswami, we're also going to be observing his day tomorrow. There's lots of big days coming up and days to make up for. Tomorrow is what? Srila Vaman Goswami Maharaj's disappearance day and Srila Trivikrama Goswami Maharaj's disappearance day. A carnival is traditionally held for Govinda Ghosh, whose residence is in Agradweep. Many people assemble there and it is known as Ghosh Thakur's Mela. It is still being held despite the fact that most have forgotten the name Ghosh Thakur. This is very interesting. Who is this about? Is this about Vasudev Ghosh? Srila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj instructed my Param Gurudev, Sri Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, to prepare a Navadvip Panjika or Vaishnava calendar, which would include all the auspicious dates like Janmastami, Ekadasi, and other important tithis, such as the appearance and disappearance days of various Vaishnavas. This service was specifically entrusted to Srila Prabhupada due to his expertise in astrology. So it was on the order of Srila Jagannath Das Babaji that Prabhupada created the first Vaishnava calendar in Vaishnava history. That's a Herculean event. This Panjika, which marks the Abhirbhav and Tirabhav of the Vaishnavas, is continuing even to this day. Otherwise, who would have remembered that today is Vasudev Ghosh's Tirabhav Tithi? Who would have known who Vasudev Ghosh is? We have just now heard a wonderful kirtan. What humility he has expressed. Quote, that providence has made me the heart of Vasudev Ghosh like stone, because it is not melting upon hearing the name of Bhagavan. I'll read it again. That providence has made the heart of Vasudev Ghosh. Who's saying this? Vasudev Ghosh. Like stone, because it is not melting upon hearing the name of Bhagavan, which has the power to melt everything. I did not experience such a thing. He is repenting in this way. This is called humility. To the extent one has advanced in devotion, to that extent he will be humble. That is why he said, Providence has carved the heart of Vasudev Ghosh out of stone, because it is not melting by taking the name of Gauranga. Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj has referred to himself saying, I am more sinful than Jagai and Madai, and even lower than the worm in the stool. The pious activities of a person who hears my name will be completely destroyed. Anyone who utters my name commits a sin. Who in this world but Nityananda could show his mercy to such a vile person as me? Rupa Goswami also expressed his humility. Although I am a mine, M-I-N-E, of offenses, and although I cannot tell right from wrong, I still hope for your mercy, O Madhav. Please be merciful to me. Srila Sanatana Goswami also. I am expert at mundane talks, and I am also adept in Hindi, Parsi, Urdu, Sanskrit, Bangla. However, I consider there's no fool greater than I, because I do not know myself. So he inquired from Chaitanya Dev about his real identity. Who am I? Why am I suffering the threefold miseries? Had anyone posed a question before, like, who am I? Yes, Brahma. Eternal servant of Krishna. In reply, Chaitanya did not say your identity is that you're a servant of Krishna. No. Instead he said, Jivar Sarupa Hoy, Krishnera Nityadas, Krishnera Tatasta Shakti, Beda Bed Prakash. The constitutional position of the jiva is that he is the eternal servant of Krishna. He appears from the Lord's marginal energy and a manifestation simultaneously one with and different from the Lord. I think I am fading out, so we're going to have to end here. Shri Vasudev Ghosh ki Jai. Jai.